Boom. And we are live with another episode of the Brown Water Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
That's right. It is Joey Cates. And we got a great show for you lined up in the studio, man. We have a professional fighter, Alan Belcher, in the studio with Joe Pace from the Sea Wolves in here. We're going to be talking about their upcoming fight, August 17th. Got the date right out of the gate, right? Yep. It's going to be a cool event right here in Biloxi. So, but before we do that, before we jump into the conversation like we always do, we want to thank the people that keep the lights on for us over here at the Brown Water Studios. Right out of the gate, Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles, man. If you're looking for a great local dentist, you can look them up on Facebook and Instagram at Southern Magnolia Smiles. They're located in on Washington Avenue right here in Ocean Springs. And when you're ready to book that appointment, man, just give them a shout at 228-215-1202. 2024 is the year to smile more, man. So go check them out. If you need legal representation for any reason, Taylor & Cox Law Firm has been practicing law on the Mississippi Gulf Coast for over 30 years. That's our buddy Tyler right there. They specialize in felonies, misdemeanors, DUIs, family law, divorce, child custody, you name it. If you need somebody to fight tooth and nail for you, Taylor & Cox Law Firm is your one-stop shop. Give them a shout at 228-696-0111 and tell them that Brown Water sent you. Rocky Brooks over at Seed to Swamp. You can look them up on Facebook as well. Seed, the number 2, and then Swamp. They've got you covered for your tackle and apparel needs. He's got 2 locations on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, one in Goshen, one in Gulfport. They're slinging kayaks, man. They got brown water gear over there. He's got all your tackle, rods, reels, everything you need. Give him a call at 228-205-3964 and tell him that Brown Water sent you. Kendrick over at Forever Young Men and Women's Health. It's July right now, so like I keep telling you, you've totally missed your New Year's resolution.
You just walk outside, lose weight.
If you're not back out in the gym yet, but if you want to get back in the gym and feeling better, book a consultation with Kendrick over at Forever Young Men and Women's Health. Let him do some lab work on you. Let him see where you're at. Maybe you're vitamin deficient. Maybe your hormones are out of whack. He specializes in testosterone replacement for both men and women. That's right. So give him a shout, man. Book a consultation. You can give him a call at 228-363-6623. And I think that that wraps it up on the sponsors.
Yeah, we got you got the app sponsor, Modern Recall. Tune into all that for the updates and all upcoming shows and everything like that.
That's right. We want to thank him for jumping on the app sponsor as well. So, all right. So, gentlemen, thank you first for being in here this evening, stopping by and hanging out with us. Where do we start? So, BKO. Yeah, cheers. That's a good one. I like cheers. That's a good start.
We start with that.
That's a good start. All right. And cheers to you with the water, sir.
Yeah.
Understand.
The training.
The training. That's right.
He's training.
That's right.
He's in camp.
That's right. It would make sense to not be drinking. So, where do we start? BKO, how did we get here? Let's talk about it.
Man, I think it's it started in this guy's head right here.
Okay.
I might have came up with the name, but the event started in his head.
Yeah, I think it's just been a while in the making. We've been talking about it for a while. So I've been fighting a lot in the last 3 years, kind of made my comeback in my career. So I just kind of reinvented myself and got back into some really nice fights. And so now transitioning out of that, I was like, instead of fighting for somebody else, I'll just, we'll just do it ourselves.
Yeah. Like flipping the script now, being on the other side of the thing, the promotion side of it, right? I'm sure people recognize your name, man. Like you said, UFC started out. Did you start out here locally, amateur, or had you fought somewhere else before you were here on the Gulf Coast?
I fought somewhere else, but I got into the UFC whenever I was here.
Yeah, that's right. And so, like you said, you retired for a little while, right? And then came back with a vengeance. Like just flipped the script and then you started back in bare knuckle. Is that correct? Yeah. Which is kind of to me, seems like a big transition from UFC to just doing stand-up. Is that?
Yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's different than boxing. I think it's, for some reason, I feel like MMA fighters can go into bare knuckle probably a little easier than boxers can.
Okay.
As weird as that sounds.
Yeah, it does sound a little weird.
We're used to fighting with the smaller gloves, and it's a little bit more of a grind. Like having a lot of heart and being tough and stuff matters.
Right.
Things like that. So
that bare knuckle gets ugly.
Yeah,
it gets ugly quick too.
Yeah, there was some legit fights in that one. What was the guy? What was his name? Other local guy here who just got his face mangled, tough as nails.
Jason Knight.
Jason.
Yes, yeah. I love watching him fight, dude. He's legit.
Yeah,
he's legit.
Yeah, that was a scary one, but
it was. But he powered through it.
I saw him the other night. He still looked pretty.
Did he? No, he never looked pretty.
I mean,
you said that, not me. I didn't say that.
Do y'all back in the day when all y'all were fighting on the same card? Were y'all packed up training the same way usually?
Fighting on the same card?
Which one? That bare knuckle.
when we all fought on the bare knuckle.
Yeah, y'all
red
trained
card, that
together.
was in
We all
Biloxi.
training just because wouldn't it be like
Yeah.
Mississippi versus
Well, there was a lot
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all
Mississippi versus the
we were all
world.
trained
Yeah.
at
Right.
the same gym, so that was a cool experience. All those guys and a lot of them I coached them and kind of mentored them coming
Right.
up, and then they got into UFC and did that, and so it all came around. So we're all fighting on the same card. So that was a fun little
Sweet.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a comment already that says, "Why isn't Joe fighting?"
I
Joe's
would
got to run the show.
Listen,
Otherwise he would be.
This one I got to work, but never say never. But
Right.
If
when
someone
I got
pulls out,
He's ready. He's
I
a
get
fight mode.
clutch.
Yeah.
Listen,
I
I
can
learned hockey, wrestling, boxing. You never go to an event without your gear in the car.
I got
That's
you.
right.
I like it. That's stay ready mindset. That's
Yeah.
what we need more of.
But I got down here July of 21 and August 21. I went to my first event down here. It was his comeback fight.
Yeah.
And I made the biggest mistake. I had the new hockey team sponsor the main event fighter. I was like sponsored Reggie Barnett when I should have sponsored this guy. I'm like
sponsored the enemy.
The main event fight was like a lightweight fight for the title or bantamweight. So his fight was earlier against
Okay.
Lopez. And I remember he's walking back to the dressing room through the crowd and walked right past me. I said, "Good job." I was like, "That guy's a beast."
Yeah.
And then years later, I get to train with him, be around him all the time. So it's definitely an honor. But it just made sense for me. I'm like, it's my favorite part of hockey.
Yeah. And we didn't lead with that, but you've been on the show. It was a couple years ago, I think, right? Right when the Seawolf stuff started kicking back off.
Yep.
And that's your background, right? Is hockey, right?
Yep.
Which is a
I
brutal
moved down
sport.
here to bring back the Seawolves. And I think I was on right before we announced it was officially back. It was after those 3 test games where, I think it worked out because
Yeah.
I fought like 6 times.
Packed the house,
Yeah.
3 games. Like, bring it back, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's it like then for you, Alan? Like when you go to prepare for a fight, right? Like how was it coming out of retirement and getting ready for that, getting back in that mindset of things?
Oh, it was very different. Yeah. It took a while I was thinking about it for several years, and I just got to a point where I was like, all right, I'm at the age now. I have X amount
Right.
of years left and I got to go. So it's just it's a slow process, but yeah, you got to kind of build yourself back up.
Fully mental
it.
committed, right? And it's like the reason I asked that question is
Yeah.
like to think now for you are you seeing like a different side of the fight game that you're saying like let's go into this avenue now and explore that the business side of it?
That's part. Yeah, this is just really more like the business side and just kind of I kind of got out of everything that I was doing at the time so I could focus fully on fighting,
Mhm.
so last 3 years, all I've
pot
been doing,
committed.
is fighting. 100% in. So now it's like, I can do whatever I want to, as far as choosing which way to go. So this is kind of a, get into this business, but also fight on it.
Right. So you still
it's easy transition.
yeah. Still in the ring, so to
In the
speak,
game
right?
a
In the
little
game.
bit. Yeah. So how is the bumps and bruises going into being on the promotion side rather than being on the fighting side?
Oh, promoting it?
Yeah.
It's been interesting. It's been fun. It's a challenge,
Yeah.
But it's been exciting.
Yeah.
It's like it's a new chapter for me, especially. Joe's been promoting. That's why I wanted to do it with Joe and make him manage the whole thing, because he's done a good job with the Seawolves and he's a promoter, and so for me it's been a big change, but it's a lot of fun.
What you mentioned that you sponsored one of the other fighters that he was on the same card as. That's where y'all met for the first time? But then how did we go from there to now partnering up in this way? What's the story there?
Robbie Ellis was working out with him, doing some
We know
stuff,
Robbie.
and then all of a sudden Robbie got linked up with the Seawolves one day, and me and him were talking. Our kids played football together. And from there, it just kind of it just kept escalating. It started with some shared yoga sessions, and then went into some days where the Seawolves have a lot of days where there's no ice. And so we got to find something to do. So we were doing a lot of off ice training, started doing that with Robbie. And then slowly Alan started showing up to those. At first he stayed away from them. Then he was like, okay, I'll see what these hockey guys are all about.
Yeah. But on a note, Robbie has the longest podcast today.
Yeah, it was 3.5 hours.
It was like 3.5 hours. And he
literally
was like,
3.5
I'm
hours.
still ready to go,
Yeah.
bro. And I was like, I'm
Yeah.
about to fall asleep, man.
We're running out of tape.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a good one though, Robbie. He's
Yeah.
a very insightful dude, and he knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
Very impressive. But that's killer, man. That's cool. So y'all just started like hanging out. Like, who kicked the idea off first to do the promotions thing?
That was this guy. He wanted to do something local. I was almost, jumping into something new. I was a little freaked out. I was like, okay, I've seen how big some of these promotions are. I'd never seen some of the Toughmans that are down here locally hosted. But now since we made this decision, I've went to some, we've talked to people, and I think we could put on a much better show than most have. And now having this permission to have a pro fighter do exhibitions on our amateur card and getting this special permission, I think it's going to make the night like really entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Explain that a little bit, because a lot of people probably don't know that. You told us amateurs, pros, but we're crossing over on this event, right?
Yep. So most tough men down here on the coast, they're 6 hours long. You got lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight, or sometimes even go to super heavyweight. And you go either 16 or 8-man tournaments in those weight classes, and you got to win 4 fights to win the whole thing.
Okay.
So we were talking about doing a smaller one, 8-man or 16. It's been back and forth. We got 8 locked in right now, and we got probably another 8 sitting in the wings just wanting to join. But last thing we wanted to do is look like bum fights.
Right.
So, we did the first ever open tryout where guys could come to American Top Team on July 3rd. We did that 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And guys came in and were able to spar in front of him, in front of our matchmaker, and kind of, show what they got. And we could kind of wean out those backyard fighters. I'm
the toughest one at the park. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen,
I'm thinking of like the Kimbo Slice dude, though. Right? Those guys running around.
But that's what we were looking for, the diamond in the rough and the guy no one knows about. And it's like, let's get him on our card.
Yeah. So what do you look for, like, other than what you just said, though? When is it like to what do you look for?
What I look for
at an amateur level.
Yeah, but what I look for is different than what he's looking for.
So tell me the difference.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking to hear.
And when we were there that night, I'm looking for like presence and attitude. Who's going to make that promotional video for me and be that mouthy person?
You got to put asses in seats, right? Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, you got a little bit of a wrestling background too. Is that coming back out though?
Yeah.
You want to see the guy walking around like that? Yeah.
I want to see the guy that could cut a promo.
Right.
Yeah.
Macho Man.
Yep.
Style. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what are you looking for when you go look for that? Technique.
Joe's looking for the marketing.
Right.
And I'm looking
Who can fight? Like, who knows what he's doing?
Yeah, and more than the technique, I would say who has heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, especially in a tough man, it's very short rounds.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more chaotic, than you would think. So if you have skill, even patience doesn't really serve you that much in something like this. So you have to learn how to go, know. So who has the heart and who can kind of push through and that type of thing.
When y'all are doing these, like, what are tryouts or whatever, is it like, I'm assuming wearing gear? They're wearing gear?
We had them gear up and
go for
just
it.
go at it.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of them already fought each other.
They already kind of know. Yeah. So how many showed up versus how many you picked? You said 8 that you did confirm.
How many were there?
Had 35.
Damn.
Wow.
That's a pile of people.
Yeah.
The room was packed. We were in the back area at American Top Team in Iberville. And
I think I saw a video y'all shared, I think.
And like what you saw on camera wasn't even what you saw behind me stand there. So it's like the room was full, and even with some spectators that, kind of were lingering around, just like, what's happening?
Right. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, walk us through it. Walk us through the format. Walk us through the whole night. What's going to go on that day?
And real quick, before you answer that, I'm going to flash the thing on the screen here. It's last man standing. It's a tough man competition. And that will be August. What's the date?
17th.
This says 24th on this flyer.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
switch the flyer.
I do. I
That's
got
the new one you just
The
sent.
new
that
one.
one's trash.
Yeah. Who sent that? Yeah.
That
I do.
flyer's trash.
I do have the other one. There we go. Right
Email Scott right now. Tell him.
there. Yeah,
to
we
get
got to
his
fix
shit
it because I
together.
thought it was the 17th. I'm like,
Yeah.
No,
no,
it is.
yeah. So look,
Yeah.
So we
we're good.
flashed the other one.
We got it right here.
That's
We're
the
good.
one I just used.
Where's the one with the lightning
Yeah,
bolts?
right there. We got
it
that
is,
one.
right
We
there.
good.
So August 17th.
Last man standing is Tough Man competition. It's August 17th at 7 p.m. at the Biloxi Community Center, and you're the main event. So I'm sorry, ask your question again. I wanted to. We do a terrible job of not leading with the damn date on stuff like that.
No,
Well, we just want to know the format.
Yeah,
of
the
how
format of
how the
the
night's going to go.
Well, hopefully it goes better than that.
We fixed it. We're good.
No, the classy one's wrong.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I like the gangster one anyway.
the thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
But so the night doors go open at 6. We were talking today about doing a prelim, a dark match, before it starts with one of our featured, one-on-one bouts. We got some influencers and some local guys that will be fighting throughout the night. So it will pretty much go, once the Toughman starts, they'll go the first round, and then we're going to do a featured fight.
Okay.
Then we'll do the second round, quarterfinals, featured fight, semis, featured fight, the championship, and then we'll go into Allen's main event fight after that. The fights in between, we actually have some good local fighters. There's a young kid, he's 17 from Gulfport.
Okay.
Remy Hopkins. He fought in nationals this year, and he's been working with Allen. I think Allen could touch more on him, but I like him, and he's got just a great physique, and he's I don't know, he's just got that Mike Tyson vibe a little bit. Like, it just seems dangerous.
Yeah. That's what we want.
Yeah, Remy's good. He could be one of the first boxing superstars, I think, out of this area.
Really?
He's still young and he's amateur,
Mhm.
but I think he's got a good family and a good team supporting him. And
Yeah,
they're going all over the country fighting and stuff. So that's one reason we could have put him in the tournament. And he's 17. He wants the money, and he's like, I could win that type of thing. But it's almost not fair. Because he's so focused on amateur boxing that he's doing it so much. And a lot of these guys that are doing it are they're not like backyard guys. Not saying like that wouldn't be cool if somebody was good,
Right.
But so many people train now, and they watch YouTube, and they're a member of a gym, or they're going to different gyms or whatever. So there's some really good talent, and so a lot of the guys on here have MMA fights. So it's different than it used to be. And one thing I've been working on personally, just here on the coast, is blending together the boxing community and the MMA community.
Okay.
And I kind of did the same thing with traditional martial arts. Like, I came up in traditional martial arts and did a lot of different karate and judo and things like that. And I did Brazilian jiu-jitsu and got into MMA. And then as I kind of progressed through there, I noticed everyone kind of like dislikes each other and stay away from each other.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
no, we're this type of person, So blending those together, getting those people together, and how they can help each other.
Wasn't that what
important.
the original UFC kind of did? Was like,
They
who's
took
the best?
everybody,
Like, everybody
yeah.
didn't speak to each other, and I'm the best. I'm a black belt. Like, well, let's find out. Let's see.
Well, that was the mission of UFC 1. Let's
Right.
see. Is a boxer the toughest guy, or a karate guy, and we found out that day that it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
100%. Yeah.
Can't
There's no doubt about
The
it.
Gracie showed you, and I listened to a podcast, we were talking about it. They sent the youngest,
Yeah.
He wasn't even the best one.
least dangerous. That's when his dad picked who's going to go, he's like, you'll hurt him.
Yeah. Hickson was the beast of the family.
Yeah. They're like, okay, you could go because you're not going to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Then he became
But-
a big, huge star.
But he knew he was going to win, but he wanted to show the world, this is the best form of, martial arts, but we're not gonna hurt you. We don't need to go there and break arms.
Well, they also didn't want to be like, well, look at the specimen that you sent, right? He's like, no, it's the littlest one we got, and he wasn't small.
Yeah.
Royce is a big dude.
Yeah.
He was slender. He's 6'1". I met him. He's like my height. He's a big guy.
Tall.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, like the UFC kind of cannibalized, I guess you could say, like boxing. I feel like, I don't know if that's an overstatement or not, but it's kind of funny to see it kind of come full circle a little bit now, and boxing's kind of taken off, and then even to see you go from UFC to like bare knuckle and stuff. Like, what can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I can. Well, one thing, boxing, it was always like part of my goal. Before I got into UFC, I was doing amateur boxing a lot. So
Right.
I I have good bit of amateur fights, boxing and kickboxing, really. And then when I first moved down here, good story about Toughman is I fought on some of the early slugfests.
Yeah.
And that's how I got connected with the Durons. And they
That's where I met you. You know, Rodney's my cousin.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Rodney, he worked with me for years. And I was able to win some of those. And a lot of those were kind of like guys boxing, or not so much boxing gym, more like backyard guys.
Mhm.
Right.
And then it would be like, I know the two that I won, I was in the finals with someone from a boxing gym.
Okay.
So it's almost like a MMA versus boxing thing. But now all these guys in our show are from boxing gyms or MMA, or do a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as far as boxing, boxing coming back, I think it's just a cultural thing, you know, like it kind of went away for a while.
The people were talking about it was dead for a while.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's dead for a while, but if you look back, like the history over the last couple thousand of years, really, it's always been kind of divided in boxing and wrestling. So if you go back to like Roman and Greek
Mhm.
Yeah.
and things like that, there's always, no matter where in history you really look, if you're a fighter, but it's like, are you more of like a grab a hold of them type of guy,
Mhm,
or a
mhm.
guy that can move around on their feet? And
Mhm.
that's really the big division in fighting, really. You know?
Correct.
So you can,
And I think we had a lot of boxing matches that kind of got thrown. You know what I'm saying? People got in there and just did it for the money.
yeah.
Didn't have heart. You know what I'm saying? And people kind of was like, well, I'm not watching boxing anymore if this is what the fights are going to do.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
that's really why it died down so much is just from just the style of kind of like building guys up, and
Right.
people kind of get wise to, they were looking for something more real.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not just real in the fighting, but the real, like, tell us the truth here about like what's going on.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
forgot what podcast I was listening to. They were talking about how like corrupt boxing is. Like
Right.
it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm learning about it, but we all saw it, you know, in the Rockies. Rocky 3 gets called out by Mr. T. You're a chump. You don't fight real fights. You
Right.
don't defend your title. And I think that's what got fans out of it. You know, you lose
Reset
guys.
that camera.
You lose guys like Mike Tyson and people like that, you know, big personalities and, you know, big draws.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden they're out of it. And who are you going to watch?
Right. Right. Is it? You got it. Is it back on?
It's
Yeah,
my
they went.
beauty.
Yeah.
It's our
yeah.
beauty on this side of the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
We're breaking the equipment.
Yeah.
It's down. It's down. Is it plugged in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you
We're-
broke it. You broke
You
it.
broke
Joe.
it.
You broke
It's
it,
our
Joe.
beauty.
Yeah, it's your beauty. It definitely broke it.
Yep.
We'll keep it rolling.
Yeah.
So just try to figure it out, Jay.
Yeah.
So
Technical
it
difficulties.
happens all the time.
Call Omnitech.
So what happens if like the guys that y'all chose, the 8 that you picked, were any of those completely unknown to you guys or no?
Completely unknown.
Meaning they don't train at your gym at all. They're not.
Yeah.
They've not
there's-
had an MMA fight. They've not had anything.
No, well, there's some Mobile guys in that 8.
There's guys that have 0 fights for sure.
Okay.
I will say we really went for quality on
Right.
this one. So we're looking for everyone in this has heart, and like they weren't really quitters,
hmm
but also very athletic. So a lot of these guys are jacked and shredded and just like they look like they could be professional fighters. It's a really good looking group of dudes.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Now the venue, I'll flash this back on the screen again for people that are just tuning in again. We'll do the
Flash
lightning
the
bolt.
right one.
I got it. So the
Correct.
Biloxi Community Center. Yeah, that was already loaded. The
Yeah.
August 17th, 7 p.m. The Biloxi Community Center. Is that the Gruich Center or is that the one?
Yep, that's the Gruich
It's the
Center.
Gruich on the south,
Yeah.
on the south side of the road,
Okay.
right across from each other.
That's a
older one.
That's a cool venue. I've hosted some music shows there.
Mhm.
This got the top up there. Are y'all going to be selling
Yep.
tickets for both upstairs, downstairs? And
Yep.
what's the tickets look like? Where can people get them? Like, give me the rundown.
Tables, front row, 600 a table.
How many
Second
at a
row,
table?
10.
Okay.
And then second row, 500. We got GA, 25 a ticket. Tickets are available at tkotix.com.
Okay.
So-
Let me see. Is that on a Facebook page or something? Or?
Yep, it's a link on our Facebook and on our Instagram. But yeah, TKOTIX.com and just search BKO, Last Man Standing. But yeah, you could also reach out to us through social media And if you're local and just want to pay cash,
If you're looking, just want to we'll get you in the
there's
fight.
so many people
Yeah.
that are just like, I don't want to pay with my card. I just
Yeah.
want to pay cash.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to make this easy for you, and now you're just trying to make it hard for me. I'm like, whatever.
What about
I'll meet you in the Walmart parking lot.
we'll get you in the show. What about sponsorships? Is that ship sailed, and who do you have?
Nope. We got some great people on board already. The District Coffee Company downtown Ocean Springs.
Okay.
Golf Code Elite training facility over in Gulfport. Doug Sellers' new gym.
Yeah.
They're already on board. And
Neo Life.
Yep.
Robbie. Yeah.
Robbie Ellis. But yeah, we got some other ones in the works. But yeah, if you're looking to sponsor, which, there's a few things still open, reach out to us through social media.
Okay. And what tell me the Facebook page if I want to type it in and find you guys.
BKO Fights on
Okay.
Facebook and BKO Fights on Instagram. You could email us at bkofights@gmail.com.
All right. I'm pulling it up right now because I'm going to drop the link in the comments for people. That way they can just go straight to that and buy the ticket straight from the Facebook. There's a link there as well, right?
Yep.
Like your preparation,
Mhm.
how you're in the camp. We joked at the
Yeah.
beginning. Like, can you talk to us a little bit about that? Your
Oh,
opponent? Yeah.
Yeah. So my opponent is Teddy Webster, and he's from North Mississippi. I fought on a card up there when I was coming back. I went on a little kind of like boxing tour and just started building my boxing record, getting
Mhm.
back into it. And so we were on a gloved boxing card together, and I can't remember. I think he fought after me, so he had probably brought most of the people there. So he had a big group there. So I remembered him, and then I saw him kind of build himself up over the. So he's an experienced guy. He's been winning. He's fought 4 times in the last couple of months, probably. He's got a lot of power,
Okay.
and he's really just like the best person I could fight from Mississippi. I wanted to fight someone as local as possible. I was like,
Yeah.
this guy's Mississippi.
Right.
He's dangerous. I didn't want to give me, there's a lot of guys out there that'll just get in there for the money and just,
Right.
Yeah.
and just lose or whatever. So I was like, it needs to be somebody that's like trying to make it come up.
Yeah, trying to make a
exactly.
name for themselves, right?
Exactly. So that's what we want to keep it real. We don't want to do any silly business,
No,
Yeah.
no Don King promotion stuff.
Yeah.
So I mentioned earlier about like with the Gruitt Center, I do like concert promotions and stuff. And
Uh-huh.
I did a show where I was the promoter of the concert and then also played in the show. That was interesting, and that's just music. So what about for you to be promoting and then also
Yeah.
fighting? Like
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody trying to hit me when I was
Yeah.
doing like
well,
double duty.
my plan is to just focus completely on the fight once it comes here. So
Throw it all on Joe.
Joe's got it.
100%.
Joe's got it. Okay, that's a good plan. That's a good
Yeah,
plan.
yeah,
That's a good plan.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want you worrying about like who's taking tickets at the door and who's
No,
running
no.
security.
Yeah,
You need to be
yeah,
focused on the fight.
The idea is what we're attempting to do is get it all, fixed up before we get there, and then the fight day's there. I was like, all right, you got it, Jeff.
Right,
I got,
right.
I got
right.
fights
I'm-
away.
I'm no longer available.
Yeah, the worst thing here is we pack this thing out and it's a badass show, and then I lose. That's the
With not-
worst case.
It's not the
scenario.
plan, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen y'all's internal emails, but I would
Yeah.
assume that's not the plan.
Yeah. But we're geared up, right? Through these fights.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
headgear on.
Yeah,
No, not
he
for him.
won't.
though,
Not
'cause
for
he's
you,
professional.
The Toughman will. Remy
There's
won't.
2 professional there's 2 professional boxing matches. There's me and Teddy, and then Mike Sanford. I forgot the boxer that he's fighting off the top of my head. We're actually just now working on the contract on that, getting that.
Yeah.
He's the head coach over at ATT. He's going to be making his pro debut. He fought on the Game Bread card,
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's
That'd
not going to
be
be
pretty
geared. Y'all
interesting.
two aren't going to be geared up. Everybody else is going to have the headgear
in
and all that.
pro you wear
Right.
10-ounce smaller gloves,
Right.
and 10-ounce with no headgear.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Toughman they'll be wearing headgear and all that. And we just signed an influencer, calls himself Holy God. He's out of Slidell.
Mhm.
Has 17 million followers on TikTok
Wow.
and a bunch of Instagram and stuff. So
Okay.
so we're we're gonna try to do a pay-per-view type of thing too. So
he thinks he's a real tough guy, so
yeah.
we're gonna put him to the test.
We got it. We got a buddy of ours, Josh Hartman. He does TikTok. He does some stuff, and he said, "Can Alan knock me out for a TikTok video?" Josh, if there's
he can.
Josh, if there's anything I can do to make that happen, God, I will do it. I will do it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the plans after this one? This one goes off. We want it to do well. We want it to be great. Are we going to keep steamrolling forward with this style of event?
So I think the goal that we both kind of agreed on was to not just be stuck in kind of one thing. With the name, we wanted to do more than just one event. Like Slugfest, it's like Slugfest.
Right.
You know, you're just stuck doing Toughmans. We wanted to do kickboxing. We wanted to try to do, originally, the idea was to do the first ever, I think, kickboxing Toughman.
That would be cool.
So that was definitely something that was
we have a very original idea for going forward.
Okay.
But yeah, we want to mix it up and do different things.
Yeah.
We want to get into bare knuckle too. So the Mississippi gave me the green light for doing bare knuckle on our cards as well. So
now
we just
Mississippi was the first or second place bare knuckle. The other company.
Oh, BKFC. They started in like Wyoming or something.
Right. But they came here. But the reason I bring that up was because I remember reading the articles about it. Mississippi is friendly towards stuff like that, or do we have more lax rules?
No, today some guy said to me, he goes, we're talking about this and how we got the pro fights on the amateur card, and he was like, well, do the amateurs need blood work, and do they need medical clearance and this and that? I go, I think they might need just proof that the blood work's good. And he goes, man, it's the Wild Wild West
out here.
Right,
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
A lot of people think that Mississippi is corrupt when it comes to that because a lot of anything goes,
Right.
here, but they're just
Used to overregulated states.
Yeah, they're just more open. We just fit
Listen, when Randy retires, I'm taking his job because he's into making money, obviously. Cool promotions.
What's the because I have know nothing about that. Who do you deal with? Who regulates that stuff in our state?
Yeah, that's a boxing commissioner.
Okay, here at Mississippi boxing.
Yeah, there's a governor appointed commissioner.
Okay.
And they have a team and they go to every boxing, MMA, kickboxing, pro wrestling, and they go and officiate those and make sure it's ran a certain way.
So if it's a fight, it doesn't matter the style.
Right.
They're over it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's cool.
And Toughman, we're doing the same format. You win, you move on. I'm guessing, correct?
Yep. Yeah, so that Toughman, it's 3 1-minute rounds. So what I like about it is it resembles a hockey fight. You get 60 seconds. You just got to throw.
Yeah, you're just
throwing punches, and there's no feeling each other out.
Right.
You're not going to win around just moving
Dodging
around, jabbing that boring old boxing style. Sorry.
We have we have one of the Seawolves players in the tournament also.
Really?
Oh, we were going to break that already?
Oh, we already did.
We dropped it.
Millions of people just heard that.
So our young fighter, Lucas Helen, he's been our, probably number one enforcer, through our 2 seasons and going into year 3. He's been training, off and on to keep up his skills on the ice, and then all of a sudden got some passion for it, and everyone kind of talked him into it. So he did Slugfest last week, made it to the semifinals, his first ever boxing event. So he's going to be on the card at BKO.
Now,
we got Lucas Helen there, ready to win.
That's right up their alley, though, because really, you get till you fall down or somebody, the referees break it up. So it's about a minute. You get about a minute and you
60 seconds.
wear it out.
Yeah, if you have a hockey fight that lasts a minute, people are definitely impressed.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And, most fights are, 25, 30 seconds, and a lot of damage happens.
Yeah.
And you're thinking some guys are throwing, at least a punch a second or sometimes faster.
Correct.
And it just happens quick.
I'm thinking like marketing, like what your angle is. Maybe he wears skates to the fight or something like that to stand out, or the full gear, takes it off ringside. Anything like that to stand out.
Yeah, listen, you don't want me in there because I'd walk right in the ring with a stick.
Yeah, just start banging it.
the cops are like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
assault.
that's a
Yeah,
deadly
pretty
weapon.
sure
You
That's
can't use
assault,
that.
brother.
That's assault. Yeah, that's assault. Well, gentlemen, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a great event.
Yeah, what's the prize at the end of it? What
Yes,
are we
sir.
doing?
$2,500 cash for the tournament winner.
Ooh,
For the
cash
tournament
spins
winner,
anywhere.
yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Cash spins anywhere.
So I think it's going to be the biggest purse for a Toughman tournament down here.
They
on
usually
the
do
Gulf
like
Coast.
$1,000 or something
Yeah.
like that. We wanted to make the purse good.
Those things, like, it seems to me like they always do well down here. People love seeing that shit. Is that, I mean, am I right?
Don't you love seeing someone get
Fight,
punched in the
yeah, it's like,
face?
Yeah.
what an easy sell. Like, come out, we got a bunch of people fighting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
And so the goal is, like we were saying, to expand, do, kickboxing, do some MMA events. I think our goal is, we'd love to bring a weekend event or a full week-long event. Like, we love doing things down here that take over the coast for a weekend. So I think by next summer, we want to have an event that takes over the coast, at least for a 3-day weekend, and grow it from there to, build up to that full week-long fight week in Biloxi, hosted by BKO.
I like it.
I like
it. You got what you got?
Is that the fighters are already there? If I wanted to join up to fight, is it still open?
You ready to fight?
No, not me.
Yeah,
I'm asking.
Oh yeah.
I'm asking.
Yeah,
Is it still open to jump on the card?
Well, so our matchmaker, Will Covington, he's not, not going to turn you down if you want to send your name or throw your name into the hat. At any moment in these events, people drop out. Even in pro boxing, pro MMA.
Yeah.
How many events have you been scheduled to go to and a guy drops out day of the event and
Injuries,
they replace him? What happened with that guy and his fake arm injury?
Oh yeah, Rockman. Yeah. He faked the arm injury to get out of the fight.
At the weigh-in.
What?
Yeah,
Dang.
walked in with his arm in a sling. Day of the weigh-in.
That doesn't sound
And
right.
they found someone to fill in. Someone was there in the audience with their gear in the
just
car.
waiting.
They're like, I'll weigh in right now.
Put me in, coach.
I was watching some Sean Strickland interviews, and that's what he said, how he got in. He's like, if you're trying to get in the UFC, you better be ready at all times on a 2 weeks notice to fight a fight. That's what he was saying. So
What was your shortest notice in the UFC for a fight?
My first one was like a 1 week notice.
there you go.
Yeah.
So you got to be training just in case.
That's got to be your life, though, right? I mean, you can't be half pregnant and be a UFC thing to get into the UFC. Like, you got to be pot committed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I think every professional sport has turned into 365 days a year.
Yeah.
Baseball, football,
Correct.
hockey. These guys, they're like, they finish and their off-season training starts the next morning.
You have to
You get like 2 days off if it's a weekend.
If you win the championship, guys party for that week, and then they go hard right after. They're getting right back after it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some food, drinks. I'm guessing all that stuff.
No, yeah, we're actually, most of these events, it's popcorn, hot dogs, nachos. So we're gonna have food trucks outside serving some good barbecue. Yeah, we're going all out. We want to partner with FEB, so we're partnered with them down at the Coliseum. So not a bash on Bud Light or anything, but who the fuck drinks Bud Light?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
right.
not going.
I
I'm
like
a
it.
Coors Light guy, so keep
Hey,
talking.
that's FEB.
There you go. Real quick before we wrap things up, let's see here. I'll flash the flyer one more time, but run us through those tables again. I think we kind of skimmed over that. So the tables are 10 people for
600 front row.
Okay.
500 second row.
Okay, and then just a regular general admission.
25.
Okay, buy them day of if you want, but you can also get them now. I linked
If we're sold out, there
bad.
won't be any
That's
at
right.
the door.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Pricing is affordable too.
Yeah, 25. Is that
Worth mentioning.
is that seated in the back?
So a standing room only, some seats on the first floor,
bad seats
and
in
then
Right. No, not in that whole building.
and then that building. The second level, it's all fixed seating on 3 sides
That's
top.
That's a pretty good vantage point, because no matter how the fighters move, you're going to be able to
The
tell.
top might be the money.
No, you get probably the best view from the top. When you're on the floor, you're looking up at the ring, and that's why the rings are all 4 feet off the ground. Throughout time, when fights started back in the carnival days and stuff like that, you needed an elevated platform for everyone to see. So, wrestling, boxing, that's why.
It's a social event.
Yeah.
It's like you want to get dressed up and whatever. It's like, don't be lame. Get on the front row. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want to
Show
chill.
up.
You want to chill and just be incognito. Go upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we doing any? Will there be any audio visual?
So what he's saying is, if your girl's getting dressed up, you better get her down low.
Yeah.
Because she's gonna think you're a dick if you
Yeah.
put her up top.
Are y'all streaming?
Yeah, streaming.
Are y'all
Video
doing any of
recording.
that?
Streaming, yeah, and we're that's Joe's department.
Joe?
No, yeah, we are just talking to Will today about a good platform to stream off of. So we'll get that up on our social media and we'll be advertising that. So we're bouncing around the price today at 25. So same as GA.
Mhm.
But it's going to be entertaining, a good night. And, with the guys that we have coming on outside the Toughman, I think it's going to be really worth it if you're in person or streaming it.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool for sure.
And
there's
still
nothing
looking
like
for
being live.
sponsors, right? Still looking.
We love sponsors.
Yeah,
Don't you love
everybody, I
sponsors?
love them.
Listen,
I'm always looking for
you
them.
call in today, you get brown water and BKO for one price.
There you
That's
go.
right.
There you go. There you go. Gentlemen, thank y'all for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Taking time out of your day to come talk to us. It's going to be a great event, man. Y'all need to go check it out right here local in Mississippi, right in Biloxi. So it's going to be fun. I hope you take over a weekend coming up like you're talking about. I think that'd be cool, man. And all the different styles of fighting. Also think that's going to be pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, and good luck on the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely on that
Yeah.
too. He doesn't need it, but good luck on fight. Thanks for everybody that tuned in on the live, man. Y'all keep tuning in. We'll keep doing these. Download the Brownwater Banter app. It's free in the App Store and on Google Play. And we'll see you on the next one.
Excellent.